So we spoke yesterday about how the Vancouver Canucks, just a little bit away from Disneyland, were getting ready for their game against the Anaheim Ducks. Well, that game is now heading on today, and we had some roster moves that I thought were really interesting to dive into because it signals a pretty new direction with this team. Now, I am going to be a little bit annoying in this video. I might just be a little bit too over-talkative, and that's because I want to drown out the sound of the guy outside my apartment. The leaf blowers are out here. It's a windy fall day, so of course there are a lot of extra leaves on the ground, and because it's Tuesday, we've got the guys coming out here wanting to clean it up. It's very appreciated, but it doesn't really bode well for the best environment to make YouTube commentaries because you can hear the buzzing in the background. So, let's dive into all of the Vancouver Canucks updates from this morning and this afternoon, starting out with the biggest piece of news. The Vancouver Canucks did indeed make some roster changes. Here it is. The Vancouver Canucks have announced that Arshdeep Bains has been assigned to the Abbotsford Canucks and that forward Aatu Raty has been recalled. This is exactly what we had seen Rick Tocchet speak about yesterday, that Vancouver has themselves an opportunity to maybe do something a little bit different with their bottom six if they're going to continuously put Pius Suter in a top six role, which is exactly what they're going to do. Then there is an option here for some extra guys to be given the spotlight here. Now, I am kind of interested as to the timing of everything, because I'm kind of thinking about it like this. Okay, 5 hours ago, 9 a.m., it was announced that Aatu Raty has been recalled from Abbotsford. Does this mean that Aatu Raty was in Abbotsford this morning? Was he in Vancouver at 8 a.m. PST, and then he's got to take an immediate one-day short notice flight over to Anaheim, California? I mean, okay, wait a minute. Oh, no, I actually get it now. Ooh, I just did some research on the fly here. Yeah, so the Abbotsford Canucks in November were actually playing in San Diego as far back as 2 days ago. The Vancouver Canucks were playing in San Jose on Saturday the 2nd. The Abbotsford Canucks were playing in San Diego the 3rd. If sometime during the weekend the team already thought to themselves, okay, we kind of want to play Raty in the next game, send Bains down and do that little switcheroo there because we don't really think Bains is suited for a fourth-line center role with Suter in the top six, then it would not necessarily be a bad thing to just kind of say, hey, we're both in sunny California. We've both got just a few miles between us. Raty, just take this Uber down over to Vancouver's locker room. Arshdeep, you're going to take the same Uber back to join the Abbotsford team. You guys are literally just swapping seats on the buses and the planes. So it actually works out extremely well. Now Aatu Raty has an opportunity to play in Vancouver after just a little bit of a sidestep with his Abbotsford team. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about the players involved here before we just move forward. Aatu Raty has had a pretty good start to his NHL career and his AHL season this year. He has himself a total of 1 point in 3 games with Vancouver, but 7 points in 8 games with Abbotsford. He's been a very useful top 6 caliber option in that Abbotsford squad, and he's coming off of what is 6 points in his last 3 games here against Tucson and then the 2 games against the San Diego Gulls. So Aatu Raty has been on a little bit of a heater. Now, I don't think he's going to score 2 points a game in a fourth-line center spot with Vancouver, but still, there's a lot of offensive potential with every single line here. When you think about the combinations that were at practice yesterday and you replace Arshdeep Bains in the fourth-line center spot with that Aatu Raty, you have a lot of extra depth here. We had spoken about this yesterday. Let's dive into it one more time here. So the first line for Vancouver, it goes JT Miller, Jake DeBrusk, Brock Boeser, Pius Suter, Connor Garland, and Elias Pettersson on the second line. Heinen and Sherwood are the 2 wingers for Teddy Bluger on the third line, and then you have Hoglander, Raty, and Sprong on the fourth. The umlauts are together, everybody. Joshua, not on the ice. He's not technically there yet, which is okay because I didn't activate him in fantasy yet, and I have Igor Chinakhov still playing, so we can just get the extra game there while we wait for Dakota Joshua to suit up. But each of these lines has scoring potential. Jake DeBrusk finally scored his first goal in the last game. Boeser has been on a tear, and JT Miller is JT Miller. Suter is a very good transitory player, and working with Elias Pettersson in the last game, he actually did get some pretty good results. He also was the cog that I think really allowed Miller and Boeser to work in the best ways possible last season. Connor Garland's got that dog in him. He's been scoring points too. Heinen, Bluger, Sherwood, very good line. We have seen the potential of that line over the past few weeks. And then Höglander and Sprong as two wingers for Raty. These guys can both put the puck in the back of the net as well. There's a lot of scoring potential with this team. And even though Dakota Joshua is not technically there, we did have ourselves an option from Rick Tocchet. Take a look at this. It's not guaranteed, but Joshua is a possibility to play on Thursday against the Kings, according to Tocchet. Oh man, I cannot wait, man. I have Joshua and Sherwood on my fantasy team. I am done for hits for the rest of the year. Just gotta ride the wave, baby. Just ride it. Of course, we gotta wait for Joshua to be fully healthy and back and ready to go. But if he is a possibility for Thursday, then man, oh man, sign me up, baby. Anyways, we also had some other word from Rick Tocchet here. Kevin Lankinen is starting tonight against the Anaheim Ducks, which is good. You know, nice to see Lankinen getting back in the crease. The game against the San Jose Sharks, Lankinen was totally great, and I think a lot of Canucks fans will be riding the confidence of him from that showcase into today, which isn't really diverging from any sort of pattern this season. I mean, Lankinen has been so solid in net. There hasn't been a bad game of his, I think, this season. And Artur Shilov's, I think, unfortunately, his spot with the team is really not guaranteed anymore, especially when Thatcher Demko comes back, who, by the way, it has been reported, he has been skating a little bit, taking some shots here and there, so obviously that is a very, very good sign. But at the end of the day, this is our pre-conversation for the Canucks and the Ducks. There were a few other things that popped up around the Vancouver Canucks world as well. We had some comments from Bruce Boudreau talking about Elias Pettersson. Yeah, that's right, he spoke about Petey again. There were some other things with Derek Forbort and whether or not he'd be an option. I mean, Harman also tweeted this out, that he is not on the ice for practice this morning. He left yesterday's practice early in discomfort after getting tangled up. We're not too sure what this means, so if Derek Forbort ends up not playing tonight, then I guess he kind of hurt himself. Probably. I don't know. If he does play, then okay, like, great, good for him to find himself in a position to actually be a part of the team. But if it's no Forbort, then we're probably looking at Bronstrom and Desharnais, or Bronstrom and Juleson, or whomever else. It's not really all too different from what we had seen when Forbort left the team earlier. Of course, when he left the team the first time, it was under very different and very unfortunate circumstances with the passing of his father. But still, Forbort being an option, okay, we'll wait and see, but I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Arshdeep Bains getting sent down and Aatu Raty getting called back up? I feel like Bains, for as good as he was, for as solid as he was in the middle of the top six, he just needs a little bit more time, which is not a bad thing to say, I would say, especially since he isn't, like, really old. Aatu Raty, of course, is a little bit younger than Arshdeep Bains, but he's in a spot where, after his development has been going so well, you kind of owe it to the guy to give him that opportunity and a chance to be an NHL player at this point, considering the work he has done to get here. He still needs to score his first goal as a member of the Vancouver Canucks. He has scored a few with the Islanders a few years ago, but still, Aatu Raty, he's going to be out there. He's going to be with Höglander and Sprong. We'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.